to another Hot Takes panel. Today is about slowing down and thinking deeply. In a world full of quick opinions, we are choosing to explore ideas with clarity and responsibility. Each trainer will share a perspective, like we've already done before, another trainer with another perspective, and the panel will engage with it through thoughtful questioning. Listen not just to respond, but to understand. So let's begin. Today we have Kalpana Kishore over here, who's going to talk to us about psychological safety being talked about more than practiced. So over to you, Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Radhika. Good evening, everyone who is present here. It's a pleasure to be here on this platform today. When we talk about psychological safety, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What do you think is psychological safety? Anyone? Anyone? What is psychological safety? Have
Having
you?
peace
Yes.
at the workplace, having peace at everywhere,
Okay.
a good
Having
mindset.
peace with a good mindset. All right. Having peace is what Smita says. Anyone else? What is psychological safety?
I personally feel it is something related to maybe, I don't know, for me personally, um, where it makes me feel comfortable.
Yes, where you're comfortable to
Yes.
speak up. All
Yes.
right, where we get a space where we can be real, we can be ourselves.
Yeah, we can be positive. Every,
No, not
every
positive.
positivity
Us,
around. For me,
not
psychological
positive.
safety too.
Okay. No, Reena, it is not about being positive. It is about being able to be yourself. It is about having the comfort to speak up without being in the net of what if I'm ridiculed? What if I am judged? Am I saying the right thing? So, psychological safety means creating an environment where you can be real you. All right. We all talk about how we are sidelined, correct? How we find ourselves losing out a chance because we do not have that platform of acceptance. All right. So, when I say about psychological safety, we all talk about emotional hurt, right? Where we actually wrap ourselves inside or within ourselves. We do talk among each other. Oh no, I'm so broad minded. I make everyone very comfortable. With me, everybody is absolutely confident. As a leader, I ensure that my juniors are free to come and talk to me whatever they want. Yes, we talk about it, but do we practice it? It has just remained, the psychological safety is nothing but just a buzzword. All right. And how do we make this buzzword into a practical safety environment? That is what I would like to draw your attention to today. Let me tell you where we find psychologically unsafe. Our own child perhaps comes to us. Have we given them that environment to talk or speak up on anything that is troubling them without putting them down? All right. Let's take relations with a family itself. Are we very comfortable to talk to our spouse? Is our spouse very comfortable to talk to us without the fear of what if she comes at or what if he comes at me with blazing guns? Is the communication environment healthy enough for the people involved to be psychologically safe? Let me take you one step further, and this step is towards professional environment. What do we see about the professional environment? It is very easy to agree psychologically when a table talk is going on about the safety of psychological environment. But at the core, we do not change our behavior. Only if we change our behavior, we can give a safe environment. But before I come down to what we can change or how we can change, let me tell you as to why it has just become the talk of the town. Any psychological topics like anxiety, stress, fear, I'm feeling low, I'm depressed. We talk about it, but we never ever do anything about it. So, why do we indulge only in talking and not in action? Let me tell you why it is done that. Let me come down to the professional setup itself because we are today dealing with corporates. The leaders, as I had mentioned earlier, they always tell that they are approachable. That's my first point. But how many leaders have we come across when in a meeting with their body language or with their non-verbal cues that lean back away, ensuring that the person gets the message that he's not interested in the idea that his junior is just talking about. How many times does a leader cut you down or cut you short, right? To tell that I don't want to listen to you. That is where the first psychological safety net is destroyed by your behavior and by your non listening skills. You do not want to listen nor encourage. Somewhere the psychological safety here, when I say that it's also partly our fault, we do not want to disagree, so we end up being a yes man, correct? We want to be nice. So we chose comfortable silence over confrontation because in our mind it is a confrontation. All right. And the last point that brings in or ushers in that only the points are talked about but not implemented is there are times when there are pressures, deadlines, overworked environments which will only bring on a controlled personality of a leader or of anyone who is involved in a hierarchy in a corporate world. So, what happens? Over here, you find yourself throwing the safety net to the wind. You are not going to do anything about it. So, if at all you come across, whether in your personal front or in your office environment, a silence when you ask a question, if you still come across a silence when you need an answer to a problem, if you are yourself are silent when there is a mistake, instead of addressing the mistake, you overlook the mistake, you can be sure that at the inner core, the behaviors that has actually shaped us, has concretized us to a level where we are unwilling to accept and ensure that psychological safety net is provided. All right. So let me just tell you, just give me a second, guys. Let me just give you, I've spoken so much. Let me give you an example of where I have felt in a corporate world the psychological pressure, where I have found that nearly 25 employees really recoil and pull themselves so inside that they just became like statues. This was at a training with a particular corporate. We had discussed the very same problem. If there is no environmental safety, psychological safety, and communication suffers. So these HR and the department head who wanted his employees to be trained in communication walked in after say 30 minutes after I had commenced my training. The first thing I noted was I had the icebreaker was done. I found them actually interacting with me and they were warm, they were opening up, and I was reaching out to them, trying to help them understand how communication is important. But the minute the leader walked in along with the HR, you could see the energy shift from openness to being close. What did it say? The person who was talking to me as a leader, I never felt the same impact or never felt a psychological insecurity because I was not reporting to him directly. This made me realize that if psychological safety network is not in place, we actually lose out on a lot of ideas, a lot of communication gaps, a lot of mistakes or errors that are not looked into. For example, if a person is not going to speak up because he or she feels that is going to be ridiculed, judged, or mocked at, or scoffed at in front of everyone in a meeting, he will sit shut with his idea. That's a loss to the company. My second point is over here, if you are going to be a control freak where you feel that just a few people that you trust can speak but will not give the platform for others to open up or give them that environment that is safe enough for them to say their thoughts, convey their thoughts, then it is going to be a loss. That is the reason why I will say that it is very important that we actually bring in psychological safety by following tips that I'm going to give you. Just give me a second. These are the following tips that I would give you. Once you put a question, whether it is with your family or whether it is at a corporate world, I'm going to use what we all have discussed when it comes to communication, pause. All right? Pause for someone to speak up, telling them that you are all right with them saying what is on their mind. All right? That 3 seconds will help them to open up and say something. That is the first basic rule of ensuring psychological safety. The second rule of psychological safety is listen without judgment. Do not judge. When you listen to whatever is being spoken, you will find that the person will feel comfortable enough and will choose words over silence. My last point over here is mistakes or errors, which is a very common ground. Instead of pointing fingers, instead of playing a blame game, just concentrate on the error or the mistake and take steps to rectify it. When you give that kind of a confidence, a psychological safety net to people involved with you at home, to your friends, and even in an office, you will find you are giving a chance for every person to be real, You're giving a chance for every person to choose to speak up and not wallow in the comfort of silence. So, this Monday, tell me, what is that one thing, Reena, Asha, Smita, Divya, would you like to adopt for a psychological safety net for your near, dear, and professional colleagues?
I'll pause for others to speak.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, because you will actually definitely see it on their face, and you will know that they are brimming with some sort of a question or a query, and you can then look at that person and encourage that person. Very well. Thank you so much, Reena. What about you, Asha, Smita? From the three tips that are given, which one will you pick up to ensure that people around you have the chance to be real?
So
I'll be a
Smita
good
has
listener
raised her
first.
hand.
Beg your
Yes.
pardon, Radhika. Smita also says.
Okay.
Yes, Smita, go
I
ahead.
will be a good listener first.
Yes. Okay.
Listening
Listening
whatever
skills
they are.
is
That will
something
also
you'll
make
be
us help.
sharpening. Thank you so much, Smita. Yes, Radhika.
No, I was just saying that Smita had raised her hand.
Oh, okay, I got it. So, this is what it is about psychological safety. Let us change the core behavior that we have somehow died ourselves into. I meant DYED, died ourselves. All right. Remove the layers. All right. And give an environment that is safe for communication. Psychological safety is a thing that is not to be just talked about, but it is something that needs to be implemented. Thank you.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I think my daughter has just written. Give me a second.
Uh, yeah. Yes. So that impromptu, I guess, call was answered, and yes, Kalpana. See, we were talking about corporate mostly, right? So, my question to you would be, uh, psychological safety is widely talked about but rarely practiced, correct? So,
Yes.
where exactly is it breaking down? In leadership intent, middle management behavior, or employee expectations?
I think there is no breakdown at the level at which the leaders are, because when they started, their journey, something called psychological safety was not there. Even as a child, I would like to say that in India, especially, we do not concentrate on behaviors. We concentrate on a yes man or a no man, or we have an idea that this is the way a person should be. We are the spitting image of what our parents imagined us to be. All right. So that is where that gap has emerged. But as you said, Radhika, where and how do we overcome this, or why does it happen? Is because we, or the people or the leaders involved, are unwilling to learn, with the fear of control being taken away from their hand if they give them that safety net. All right. Why do they feel that the control will be taken away? Is because there is always a chance that there is someone who is able to give better ideas, has better thoughts, has better solutions, and has a better way of dealing with the challenges.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? It's open. The panel is open for discussion now. Yes, Smita.
Yes, Meta.
Yeah. My question for you is, what specific lack of actions from the leaders make psychological safety feel like just a buzzword?
The action is the behavioral change that needs to be done at the core level, right? I'm just coming down on an individual basis without any biases over here. We as parents, we find till we realized that the world is changing, or the generation that is coming, or the coming generation, the Z generation, the baby boomers, when you look at all of them, there has been a gradual change. Yet our parenting methods, right, were very similar to that of our 30s and 40s parents. Individual level, for us to change that particular level of strict parenting into an open environment where you can welcome your child saying anything that he or she wants to tell you, was a change that we had to bring it ourselves, and I'm sure it wouldn't have been an easy change, right? So the same thing is felt by leaders. I'm going to come back to what you had said, Smita, about self awareness. When we realize that our methods or methodologies are actually outdated and we need to usher in a change, again, change management over here, all right, then we should look into it. So, here I would like to say you have learned, you have to unlearn and you have to relearn. If that is adopted, and if they feel that if they're going to relearn, it doesn't mean that they are unintelligent, or they lack, how do I put that, they lack okay, I'm not getting the word, but they might feel, they should not be feeling that they lack, uh, how do I put it, anybody can give me a word over here, that they lack goodness, or they might be looked down upon, if they are learning something new. All right, you will find that people learn something but they hide it from others because they are so scared of being judged. I'm using that word judged again, but that's what.
Kalpana, you said that psychological safety is about making people comfortable around you, right?
Yes.
So, what about the confrontation? Suppose we confront somebody. So,
Yes.
is will it lead to, I mean, non-psychological safety, or yeah, because
Yes.
it makes people uncomfortable when you confront them. So, should we not confront? What should be the way out?
If you recall, there was a point that said that sometimes just to be nice, we keep quiet because we don't want confrontations, right? Uh, confrontations need not be put given the role, or given the, I'm sorry, I'm actually still exhausted. It should not be given the role of, making a mole out of a mountain. It should be given the it should come under the criteria of a dialogue. It is
We
not a
feedback.
confession. Yes, let's talk it over. So when you say let's talk it over, when the you did this, I did this, you should not have done that. When the blame game, as I had mentioned earlier, happens, only then it becomes a confrontation. If you say that you cut me short in the meeting, or I was cut short in the meeting, I felt upset. So you're talking about your emotional. They are non-confrontational, yet you're not being nice because someone cut you off in a meeting, right? You get it? So it is not a confrontation. If you bring it down to the level of a conversation, you still find a common ground to tell your grievances to the person who has caused them to. All
Okay.
right.
So,
Yeah.
what do you call, if you actually look at real psychological safety in day to day work, okay, not in policies or workshops or whatever, but in actual team behavior. Just give me one small example of what it should
All right. Here it is. Supposing I come across a colleague of mine or a junior of mine who is coming late, all right, constantly. Every day he is signing in late. The first reaction, as we are always taught, is, you have to call and scold him, or, uh, Just tell him this is not accepted. That's the first reaction. It is our behavioral reaction, which is actually woven inside our psyche. But instead of that, if you call him and say that I've noticed that you have been coming late from at least past week to 10 days, is there something troubling you? Is everything all right at the home front? Yeah. After asking him that, if he or she says this is happening and that's why he or she is late, then you say, is there any way I can, help or assist you? How long will it take you? You can also, you should know the timeline as to how long is that person still going to be late or delayed. All right. How long will you be late to the office? In the meantime, if you're coming late by say an hour or two, I want you to ensure that despite you coming home late, coming to the office late, your work is complete.
Okay.
All
Right.
right.
Reena?
Yes, Reena.
Yeah, so like right in the beginning when I said that psychological safety is about positivity around. So here the example that you gave talks about the positive approach, or say emotional being a having a high EQ and approaching the problem with the positivity. So I guess psychological safety also leads to positive positivity around. Is
Yes.
it that, or is it something else?
It is always positive. Tell me, if there's a person in front of you who is able to talk to you without any reservations, isn't that going to be a very healthy thing that's happening around? Correct. So when you feel you have to develop an aura that makes anyone who comes to you be able to speak up their mind, and that will give you a chance to be a part of their life, their problems, their challenges. That's what I would like to say here.
So, in
Yes.
continuation with what Reena said, uh,
Yeah.
positivity and psychological safety, right? So,
Okay.
when you are actually saying that, can too much focus on psychological safety uh,
Mhm.
dilute accountability or performance? It happens. Where
Psychological
should the
safety,
line be drawn?
uh, in an emergency, you can call your shots. I would like to give a real life example over here. I was posted in Assam and we were at a place called Dick Boy, and it has the oldest refinery of India. Due to some negligence in the refinery, there was an accident and a laborer died. The labor union immediately was at the hospital. We had our own in hospital also, which is known as AOD hospital. They came here, and you can imagine the ruckus that they created. Obviously, heads would have rolled, correct? I still remember our executive director. He just came on the he came out, on the first floor of the hospital, looked down at the crowd and said, "Can we just have a minute silence to honor the death of the deceased?" Total control, psychological safety net was not thought of. And even if it was thought with keeping the laborers also in mind. Had they turned into rioters, we all know something like that had happened in Maruti workshop in Gurgaon, where an
Yes,
HR
yes.
personnel was burnt alive. So, yes, everything has its pros and cons. We have to actually react considering the circumstances we are in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Yes, Asha, anything? Okay. Oh, it was a clap.
Right.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So wonderful, Kalpana. It was really an interesting discussion that happened. We can go on and on when it comes to psychological safety, I guess.
Yes.
So, audience, what stood out today was not just what was said, but how it was handled. Clarity, composure, respectful challenge. These are the qualities that build long term credibility as a trainer, Let's carry this forward beyond today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kalpana. It was indeed a lovely session, an interesting session, and a debatable session. And thank you, audience. It's a sign off from me, Radhika Kotha. I'll see you in the next activity.
Welcome.